No, no, hold on,
Hey guys, welcome back to Across the Case. My name is Dylan Dove. This is the podcast for retail jewelers, and I'm super excited about today's episode. We are with the one and only Sebastian Velasquez, the brand manager for INOX Jewelry. I know you've seen him at the shows. He's part of Sales One and has been in the industry for 19 years. He describes himself as an insatiably curious, always looking to understand how products, brands, and retail strategies can better connect with today's customers. He currently serves on the JIS board and the JCK vendor advisory board, kind of contributing to a broader industry of different conversations and initiatives. I've had the chance to chat with Sebastian a couple of times as well. He is the man. So today we're going to talk about a few different things, but men's jewelry right now feels like it's kind of everywhere. But the real demand, is it real demand or just better marketing? So today we're going to unpack why men, why now, and what retailers should actually be doing about it, along with some tips and tricks about working with trade shows and working with vendors. We get to hear from both sides here with Sebastian. So Sebastian, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Big fan of what you guys do, what you guys are trying to do for the industry. So I'm glad I can join.
No, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. So really quick, Sebastian, I want to get just a really high level overview of who is Sebastian, how'd you get into the industry, and then we'll kind of move on from there.
Oh, sounds good. Well, most people know me by CBAT at this point. I joined the industry 19 years ago. I was fresh out of college, needed a job, landed at a place answering phones, and, just kind of moved through the ranks. I've always worked with INOX. INOX was a brand already existing inside of Sales One when I was hired. But yeah, I think it was 2007, 2008. We did a show, and a jewelry show. I was invited to go to one, actually. It was the JIS show. And I just fell in love with it, with the industry, the community, the thought, what the jewelry represents. And it's kind of been my obsession since then. And I'm very lucky to be part of a fantastic group of individuals, fantastic company. This is run and owned by Mr. Mark Hollis, who is a tremendous visionary. And we're just a big team. There's actually 70 of us employees here in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
And INOX is only one part of our company. We also do body jewelry and we do licensing, but it's all geared towards alternative, creative, hey, it's been tested before. How can we bring something new to the table, or how can we reinvent the wheel, if you will?
Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I mean, I know that at all the shows I've been to, I've always seen you guys, and I can't help but to stop and go look at the booth. I think that what you guys have done with men's jewelry is super cool. And that kind of actually leads into one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, which is kind of from your vantage point, is men's jewelry, is it actually growing, or is it just getting more visibility with things like Instagram and social media, et cetera?
I think it's finally rightfully getting the attention it always deserved. With INOX started as a stainless steel jewelry company. So we had both women's and men's back in the day in 2007. But very early on, and we're very proud of that fact. We're like, okay, we saw it coming way before many people were like, it's kind of crazy that 70% of the consumers don't have anything to purchase for them at jewelry stores. Let me explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
Most jewelry stores, when we started 2007, 2008, were women concentrated stores that had men's jewelry in the way of bridal. If you were a guy looking for a fashion item or something like that, most of the pieces you could find were heirloom chains or bracelets or timepieces, watches. As we're all aware, when the almighty Apple Watch came to fruition, the watch business kind of took a hit. Thankfully, and I'm very happy for all my friends in that industry. It's making a comeback as
Yeah.
timepieces. But as technology disrupted the market, there was kind of like a void left for opportunities for guys. And we're like, well, if you go to a jewelry store, a jewelry show, or a jewelry store for that matter, there's myriad of possibilities for women, but guys, you usually are left to like a corner with random pieces of jewelry left over decades,
Yeah.
and that we just saw as an opportunity. Or like, look, we're not the most fashion forward people, like some of the people who work here, but we'd like to rock a piece or here and there, and like we imagine there's many more more like us out there. So we took it upon ourselves to start building towards that market. And I, we actually did a presentation, St. Louis RJO 2 years ago, where we actually explained the science of why this market was going to go and open for the male consumer. And one of my favorite examples of that, it's Fortnite. So just think about it. Like the younger generations are accessorizing more and more and more.
Yeah.
I'm a millennial. The Gen Zers did it less. Like the ones that are coming after are doing more. Now the generation Alpha, like the kids right now in elementary school, they're spending, they're investing cash, money, on buying skins,
Yeah.
digital skins,
Yeah.
accessories for their characters. If you don't think this consumer is gonna want, like when he gets a chance, go and try to look for accessories for him, there's nothing I can do for you. It's like
No,
the
you're
writing's on the wall. So.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. I was kind of laughing because about two things you said. First off, I sold my Apple Watch yesterday. Actually, I haven't worn it for months and months and months. I started wearing like an actual timepiece, but I sold it yesterday. My wife's like, "You're really gonna get rid of it?" I was like, "Yeah, I use something else to like track my steps now and do my stuff with that." And that was all I was really using
Uh-huh.
it for. And then I was taking my son. We were at a store and he saw a little chain hanging up at the store, and he's like, "Dad, my friend just got a chain. I really want a chain." My kid's in second grade. So, I mean, already, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see it start happening. And I think it's unique that you brought up like the Fortnite skin things. That's totally something kind of generational, right? Social media is obviously helping to kind of push that as well. And so, I mean, as far as you guys go, where are like retailers misreading the opportunity right now when it comes to men's jewelry, just more in general?
I think it's the lack of variety. The one thing I come across the most with retailers, because like we've been doing it for uh, 19 years as a company, fully focused on men now for close to 10 years. And I got to tell you, those first shows, right when we decided to kill off our women's line, which was the more profitable one, it was hard because like we're trying to convince people about this category that they always said that's never worked for us, that's never worked for us. And ultimately we were successful at letting them know it's like, well, it hasn't worked for us because you don't have the right jewelry, you don't have the right approach. One of the examples I always use is like it's always been such a shame. And like for the most part of like what was out there in the market for many years, men's wise, were just women's styles made longer and thicker, but they weren't really designed for a guy.
Hmm.
And that shows because like they don't perform after. So one of our main mantras was like, okay, yes, whatever's market, whatever's out in the market, whatever's trending is important, but let's think about the young consumer first.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately our goal. So that's, and that like, that's a good jump off point to explain why, as you mentioned, our booth is the way it is, why our presentation is the way it is, why our marketing is the way it is because we understand who our consumer is,
Hmm.
and we can attract that consumer with the same strategies that work with the female market for years.
Right. That actually, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Again, like your marketing very specifically. Again, it was one of those booths that just really stuck out to me. I think the first time I actually came into your booth, and I met you briefly, I was with another company, but was at the St. Louis RJO show a couple of years ago. And I just remember it was the first time I saw it, and it was just it was like, wow, like it really just kind of drew me, because you don't see a lot of that type of I guess branding for men, right? Like at jewelry stores and whatnot. And so
Lifestyle, yeah, it's like,
exactly.
it's setting.
So
Oh, and you haven't seen the latest one then, because St. Louis was like that was two shows before we introduced the man cave,
oh
which
yeah,
is
I
the
haven't
full
seen.
concept.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
come
excited to
by
see.
the next booth, you'll
I'm
be like,
excited to see the
oh,
man
you
cave
guys
for
are
sure.
insane.
Yeah. I mean, all
Yeah.
of that kind of actually leads into the next question I had, which is how should retailers evaluate brands in the men's space while maintaining obviously like high end luxury kind of branding? How do they evaluate the brands and bringing in brands for their stores?
It really depends on their needs, you know. For example, with Inox, I'm going back to what I started with. Uh, we realized that the offering for men was so, minuscule that we kind of had to take it upon ourselves to fill in as many gaps as we could. So with that, for example, when we first joined IJO RJO, our initial offering was more of an impulse buy, like low risk, like, hey, introduce it to your people, test it out, see how it goes. Now, 5, 6 years later, we're introducing items into the mid range and some items into the high range. So it really depends on your consumer, but for you to make the best decision, you have to offer it to your consumers. I often tell people at the show, it's like, all right, you're thinking about it. Let me give you my social package, post a couple pictures, see what they tell you.
Mm,
And we kind of design everything to attract the attention from the guy that we know usually has never been spoken to. So one thing I always say is like Inox is jewelry for men that don't like jewelry, you know?
yeah. I'm so curious, and I don't have an answer. Maybe you do. And if anybody's listening to this, YouTube or otherwise, if you have a comment on this, I'd love to hear some of the feedback. I'm curious because my wife has never bought jewelry, like never bought me any jewelry. She's never like my engagement ring I bought myself. And so I'm just curious, like, do you think that men, for the most part, are purchasing their own jewelry? So, like, if it were in the store, like that's really kind of what you're targeting is for them to purchase themselves, or
I am getting a little bit of both. And going back to it, some of the stuff we design to be an ideal gift. There's some pieces we design for like you to just treat yourself, you
Mhm.
know? So let me give you an example. We have this collection, which has two marketing approaches depending on the day, right? It's called Bushido. Some of you guys have might heard of it. I'm actually wearing one right now. This is
Oh,
made out
nice.
of makumegane, which is the same metal used to make katanas,
Okay.
right? So it's a samurai bracelet, and it's got a whole bunch of meaning. This is the stone has a meaning behind it. It stands for one of the virtues of the Bushido code. So when we do marketing, for example, around grad stats and groomsmen season, the marketing will be elevating the virtue part of the bracelet. So like if I want to buy something for my special, like for my partner, like the this has some meaning that I can give to him, and like I'm sharing that with him.
Mm.
Then when we're in an off gift giving season, we play out the cool part, the cool factor, so guys get all about it. We're like, dude, it's a samurai bracelet. What's not to love about
What's
it, you
not to
know?
like? Keep saying
So
samurai. My
yeah,
kids are
like,
gonna run down here with swords and start attacking me.
oh, it's actually pretty funny. A lot of our customers that purchase that program will send them a sword.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
man. And that goes for multiple things. Like, we have this art collection. It's called Nashville. We play up like, hey, it's made out of wood. It's important. Blah blah
sure.
blah. But for the male consumer, we play at the part of, well, it's made out of the wood is Tennessee whiskey, barrel wood, and it's got a guitar string on it. So,
Oh, that's cool.
cool. Uh,
No, that is
so
cool.
yeah, it really depends on like, the type of consumer and the time you're trying to reach that consumer.
Yeah, gotcha. No, that makes sense. I want to shift gears just a little bit, Sebastian. I want to make sure that we capitalize because again, like you're on multiple boards, JIS, JCK advisory boards. You help in making sure that like those events go well for everybody, right? Not just vendors, but also retailers. So one question for you: what do retailers misunderstand about vendors?
Mm, that's a good question. Um, we don't have the silver bullet.
Yeah.
We don't have a panacea. We don't have the perfect solution. But if you share and you let us listen, we might actually be able to help you out.
Mm,
So when I'm talking to a prospect or somebody we're working with, like I'll run down through the entire collection, even stuff that I know it's not needed. And
yeah.
then I'm like, okay, now tell me about what's going on with you. What are your issues? What is the hurdles you're experiencing with men's jewelry? And then like, we'll concentrate on what actually makes sense for them. You know, stores are not like printed one at a time. Like they're not printed en masse. Each store, each market, it's
Yeah.
its little bubble and ecosystem, and you gotta treat them as such. You know,
Yeah.
what worked for Mary won't work for Paul.
Mm, yeah. No, I mean that makes sense. Uh, and that kind of evolves into the next step. And I think that trade show season, right? I feel like we have two trade show seasons. We've got the winter one that's happening right now, and then we've got come up June. Let's see, JCK's end of May, I believe, this year. So like we got May June time where you start
JCK,
getting a lot more shows, right? And so trade shows are a lot. My wife feels that pain whenever it's trade shows. She's
high
like,
five, bro.
I'm not going to see you again for another month. So,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
my,
how
my
are trade
daughters
shows?
are super excited about me traveling now. But
Oh, for
shout
sure.
out to my boy Lenny from Edge. He gave me a fantastic tip to keep them happy. So I fly with a stuffy that they
Well,
sleep with all the time. I take random pictures of it wherever I go.
oh, you
That
take a
helps.
stuffy with you and then you take pictures of it.
Yes, like so they sleep
Oh,
with a
okay.
stuffy all year, and then when it's time for me to travel, I'll take the stuffy with me because he'll watch me.
There you
You
go.
know.
That's a great tip. Shout out Lenny. And I don't
Yeah.
know if the
Oh yeah,
stuff is for
man.
Lenny's daughters or if it's for
Yeah, if
Jess.
wise beyond his ears.
He is wise beyond his years. Little plug for Lenny. He loves chocolate milk. So next time ask him about his chocolate milk as well. Okay, so question then. You've been in the industry for a very long time. I'm relatively new to the jewelry industry. I've been working in the jewelry industry for about 5 years.
Welcome, we're
I
glad to have you, my friend.
man, I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And I love trade shows. I'm not new to trade shows, but jewelry trade shows have kind of opened my eyes. It's a different beast inside of jewelry. How have you seen trade shows like evolving over the last 19 years?
That's a really good question. Well, first, the dress code. It got a little bit more relaxed. I remember when I started traveling, I was the odd man out because I didn't have a three-piece suit. Uh, and I think that actually helped to make the like everything more approachable, more conversation like. I feel like retailers do enjoy being on the other side of the counter for once, you
Yes.
know. And like as I always tell my team, like don't try to hard sell a hard salesperson. Every trick you think you know, they've done it a million times. So just be like, just be approachable, be fun, and try to offer value.
Yeah, no, I mean, even in the last 5 years that I've been in the jewelry industry, like I've seen banners, booths, stuff like that's changing. Things are enhancing. I love the casual look I get to see from a lot of the retailers as well. That's been fun. Yeah, and then one of the things for me, I mean, speaking from a vendor perspective, is I love seeing the retailers that we're working with, but also the retailers that we're not working with. So, like, quick shout out actually for Anna Barnett Jewelers down in Florida. They're one. Her and her husband Oscar are one that I called them and I called them, I called them at my previous company, and they would not take 2 seconds with me. But in person, there's just something different. You kind of get a feel for who it is that you're working with or who you could potentially be working with when it comes to working with, whether it be from the vendor side or the retailer side. Like you get to understand kind of who they are, what they're about, and there's a lot to be said, I think, for that in-person type of interaction that only is available at the trade shows. And so I think it's something that's super important as well when it comes to, I guess, both sides of that business. Um, so Sebastian, yesterday I did ask a question. I hopefully it gave you a little bit of time here to think about it. One of the questions that I asked yesterday was, what was one thing that retailers get wrong about vendors?
I think the biggest one is thinking that we have all the solutions. We just like as a retail partner are trying our best just to help them out. But everything that we do, it's got their best intentions at heart. Like, our biggest goal, especially as like, I'm talking about our company in particular. We've been in the industry for 19 years now. So a lot of our partners, I don't consider partners anymore. They're our friends. And under that frame of mind, like it is in our best interest to make the best work possible for you because your success is our success. And even if sometimes like, stuff doesn't work exactly as we planned, just know that we have nothing but your best interest in mind because they're my best interest too. And like the other thing too is like it's
Yeah.
not always just about transaction or money. For example, like here at INOX, we have started to expand, our reach beyond just selling jewelry. Like one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is really creating representation within the jewelry industry for that male customer that might not have considered jewelry before or might not have seen something that resonated with him before. Uh, and it's just not the jewelry. For example, last year. We started support in Movember. If you're familiar with that, it's all about men's mental health and physical health. And being a bro forward company, that's a message just very dear to our hearts, and like something that we're doing just because. I mean, I'm gonna tell you a little story. The coolest moment I ever experienced at a show, it's where like we have a booth. You've seen our booth. It's got music. It's got a vibe. Like, it's pretty cool. There's people walking around. I see people from the industry,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's when I see like the security guards or like, the maintenance crew, like people that are not from the industry. And they stop over at our booth and they're like, man, this is cool. And I
Yeah.
just see that little glitter in their eye. I'm like, yeah, we're doing it right, man. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's kind of like what we want to do. Just represent the pros.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think that, I mean, one of the things that also against another speak up for the vendors here side of things. I would say in general, again, I've been to a lot of industries, trade shows, done a ton of different trade shows for different industries. In retail in particular, I feel like there's a very small percentage of vendors that maybe don't have like the best intentions, a very, very small percentage. I spent a ton of time going around talking to vendors throughout the years, and as a whole, all the vendors in retail really care. Like retail is an entirely different beast when it comes to networking, connection, working together. Like you see stores so willing to help each other out. Like you talk about like the Facebook groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different Facebook groups. There's a lot of noise in the Facebook groups. But what's interesting is when you see somebody ask a question or ask for some help or some suggestions, I mean, they're getting more attention than, insert funny pun here. Like they are getting so much really awesome stuff and they're willing to share and they're willing to help. And I think that's really unique about the industry. One
It's
thing I hope that retailers will take from this is that like we want the best for them because if we can help them to succeed in other ways, that's only like that is our success. I think you nailed that straight on the head. Their success is our success. And so we need to create experiences, products, tools, resources for them to succeed. And I think that's something that I hope that retailers will, see and feel and understand, and that us as vendors, we can deliver that experience to them. I think that's really important about these shows.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned, just sharing the knowledge. Like I like to think of the jewelry industry as a beehive mentality. Like the more we share amongst each other, like the stronger we will become as an industry as a whole.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right. So before we close the case here, I have a couple of questions I want to run through here. These are kind of just some punchier questions. I just give me your gut reaction, kind of
Cool.
what you think. I've got a couple written down I wanted to try out and just hear the feedback from you and kind of get that direction. But this will be kind of a little bit rapid fire here as we kind of close up the case for the day. So, um, what separates good like a good retailer from an elite retailer in your space, in your world?
Hmm. Uh, Attention to detail, and and actually using the resources that we make available. So, for example, with INOX, and this is something I've heard a lot over the years. Sometimes we are overkill with the amount of accoutrements and additional services and extra freebie stuff that we create for our authorized partners. But and we understand that sometimes it could be overwhelming for some small mom and pop shops to undertake all these additional initiatives. But mind you, it don't cost extra money, but time is money. Uh,
Mm,
However, when people do follow our lead on that, they do see the success. As creative, as energetic as Inox seems, it's the result of 19 years of trial and error, mostly error, but we learn from it. So, everything that we do and we put out there for you, it's actually looking out for the customer, providing value, and it's a solution, as like could you say, it's a solution to a problem you haven't identified yet, but we saw it coming, and we're willing to share that solution with you. And that goes for we do drop ship for our authorized retailers. We join forces with you guys for training. It's all those additional points of of strengthening the brand presence in a store and strengthening the knowledge of the staff that really makes a difference at the end of the day when we're looking at how successful the brand line was.
yeah, perfect. Attention to detail. I like it. Okay, second to last question here. What are you currently obsessed with improving?
Ooh, that's a good one. I am obsessed with improving just a need inventory for my retail partners. So, just to give you a little bit of context
Yeah,
here,
say a little more on that.
yeah, just to give you a little context of that, we open accounts as authorized retailers on a specific territory and market, and we try to create a very compelling, very fun, point of contact with a consumer within whatever space we're given in that case. That's why we have the really energetic marketing, the cool wooden displays, the really cool story-driven stories. Because our idea is jewelry stores all have limited space, right? But you do have the traffic, and you have the traffic that we want, which is men. 'Cause, they buy Prada. So our job is to create a case that's gonna attract that guy. Just like you were saying yesterday. Like I remembered your booth; it attracted me. And then,
Yeah.
we might not have there the exact item that he needs or that he might like. But we introduced him to, hey, there is a way, a very unique type of jewelry that is actually generated for you. And we do extended inventory dropship for our retailers. So they can, okay, we have the 60 items, but let's go online to the authorized store, e-commerce store, and you can pick from our 2,500 unique SKUs. And our goal is to be able to, it's pretty good right now, but we want to be able for anybody to just, hey, I like that, and the package be on our way to the consumer as quickly as possible. within all
Yeah,
of our
simplifying that
days.
like ordering process.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
and that's kind of like a little bit of our model. It's more about like, create and authorize retail points with the
gotcha.
best jewelry partners that we can find.
Perfect. I lied. Actually, you made me think of one more question I want to ask because this is, I think, really important for any associates or anybody, even store managers or owners that are listening. Anybody that might be carrying Inox right now, or I mean, honestly, any men's fashion. What's one tip you would give them to sell more starting today?
Talk like a dude.
I'm not going to ask for any examples of what that means. Just kidding. Talk like a dude. Right. Match your customer. Right.
Exactly.
Like
Like,
meet them where they're at.
just like, just connect with them. Like, sometimes, and I did that a lot too before. Like, you'd get carried away by specs and dimensions and descriptions. And we're in the jewelry industry, man. The jewelry industry succeeded at monetizing love. I never get
Yeah.
over that fact. So it's like, what is the feeling? What is the special moment this jewelry piece can convey? And explain it to a guy like a guy. That's it.
I love that. That's perfect. That I really, really like how you said that. I think that makes a ton of sense. I think about when I talk to, I remember I was selling a software to somebody that does grills down in
Hmm.
Texas.
Uh-huh.
I talk to them a lot differently on the call than I talk to, an AD of a luxury timepiece store up
Yeah.
in Michigan or something, right? Like it's just totally different. You got to meet your customer kind of where they are and who you're talking to. So I love that. All right, Sebastian, last question for you here. Finish the sentence. Success in this industry requires blank.
Uh, Creativity, persistence, and grit.
Creativity, persistence, and grit. I love it. I love it, man. Well, Sebastian, I just want to thank you again, man, for coming on, dealing with some of these technical difficulties over the last couple of days. It was really, an honor and pleasure having you on here. I'm excited to hang out. I think I'll see you here in about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
We'll see each other down in
Yeah,
Phoenix, and
we'll
so
we'll be waiting for you at the man cave.
I'll be there. I'm coming to come by, check it out. We'll snap a pic. But I appreciate you being here. And for all those listening, we appreciate you guys as well tuning in. Hopefully you found something really valuable in learning from Sebastian. Again, brand manager for INOX Men's Jewelry, Men's Fashion. And yeah, so as we close the case, appreciate you again. Thanks for being here, Sebastian. And we'll keep moving. We'll chat with you guys here soon.
Adios, bro, chacho.
It's like a song.